website, I'm not seeing any downloads of the ebook. So it's looking like a click-through rate of 0.84%.
If you were to aggregate the two different campaigns, yes. But we have. Let me pull you over to my side.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at Facebook.
Yeah, sure. We're going to look at the same thing. We're just going to look at it using Ad Espresso dashboard.
Okay.
All right. I've already gone in and made optimizations on these two campaigns. Yeah. This one, the first one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to release it. I'm going to go ahead and pause it out now. This campaign absolutely was an underperformer, but it was also our first campaign. Well, it's not an underperformer. Let me tell you about it. It gave us what we wanted. So we went in here and we're running on this. Let me change the budget on this real quick. This one, we have not had any downloads. However, we've been able to reduce our cost per click and get our CTR up to what we, close to what we were looking to start out with.
What is that? What's the CTR on that?
The CTR before I've just optimized is 1.175%. So we're close to the original KPI, that we talked about was how much we wanted that one to run per day. I'm gonna actually just keep this at 15 because we're layering on some new campaigns. So anyhow, I went in and let me see if I can. We haven't had any downloads. However, we've only had 12 clicks. Out of those 12 clicks, let me show you the campaigns that I went ahead and reduced for. This image right here.
How many impressions did we have for those 12 clicks?
Still under 1,000. For example, on this image, well, we've got a total of about 1,000 impressions for the entire campaign. Now, broken down image base right here, you can see that this is this is more of a winning campaign or winning ad image for the ad. So it's got a higher click-through rate, which, all these little optimizations, like when I pause out this one, we're going to be able to boost our click-through rate and decrease our cost per click. So for example here, this one was double the cost per click than this image. So by removing those, we're going to bring our KPIs, our CPC, our CTRs into range, what we talked about. Let me show you some other things, and this is some good stuff because we're going to be able to use this moving forward. This version of the headline is performing better, even though slightly. Now, you can say that it doesn't because the cost per click is higher, and the CTR is actually, That's interesting.
Why? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, our click-through rate's better and our cost per click is better on the second one rather than the first one. So I made a wrong. Let me go ahead and restart that. Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to reduce that just yet. Let's go to the ad text because this was something I found that was really good. Let me go ahead and this is the best performing ad text that we have. Now I've got to repause all these because I just switched that campaign back on. Just 1 second. So this was our best this is for this campaign is our best performing ad text right here. It is getting a CTR of 1.754% at a CPC of 188. So this is what we want. These other ones that we're getting some clicks on it, really high cost per clicks, also really low CTRs. So this is our best performing one on this ad campaign. We can take a look at the ages here. This is going to give us a little bit of information, help dial us in a little bit better. This campaign, we're running within the ranges that we discussed, 30 through almost into the 40s here. However, we can see now that our cost per click on the 42 to 45 and the 46 to 49 is just, these are the age ranges that are going to be outside of what we're looking for here. So this campaign, we're going to be running 30 through 41. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these.
Did you give additional weighting to any of those age groups, or did you treat them all the same?
What do you mean by that?
Did you allocate the same budget to all of them? Did you?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Everything starts out equal. Now, what happens is, and why you start to see some skewed values, is because I've already gone through and sort of taken these out. And those, but these, I mean, after 160 impressions, and we've got nothing on this, versus this age group of 34 to 37, we've run, almost, maybe 20, 25% more impressions now on it, but we've got 5 clicks here, so it's justified. So, once again, yeah, they all start out the same, but as we progress through, that's when I start dropping these things. And
so I mean, that makes clear. That's bearing out what I think we both suspected, that it's something more for somebody in their 30s than. I mean, you actually said no to the 20s. You said it's not really for somebody that young. So that's good. Yeah.
Yep. Solid there. Let me check out the placements. I don't think we really have anything solid or concrete here. I don't like this desktop feed, and I might just go ahead and take it out because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw this,
this
at least
happened.
on Facebook. I was shocked. Why is mobile so high compared to desktop? What's going on?
Well, now it's not high. Are you talking about like high in terms of why more people have come through versus this?
No, actually, let me go back a step. I looked at the first campaign, the one that you've just paused,
right,
and it had 2,000 impressions. Of those 2,000 impressions, it had about 1,100 from iPhone, about 400 from Android, and about 400 desktop. And I thought to myself, why is desktop so low?
Well, and I'd have to look at that campaign to give you exact reasons why, but some campaigns, I mean, you'd be surprised. We could take this exact campaign and maybe switch up one little thing, or not switch up anything, and run it strictly for, it comes back where desktop's the best performer. I think that because within this age group, the 30s age group, mobile is going to really be where we're going to hit these people, because they're the type of people where, let's say, they're working a corporate job, they're commuting an hour, in the mornings and evenings. So they're on their phones and they're flipping through and they're looking at this kind of stuff, and they're wanting to, either the type they have, they're entrepreneurial and they have, their business downtown and they're still trying to kick things up or trying to scale. They've made the first $1 million, but they're looking to make, to scale. I mean, these are the type of people that we're looking for. I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on desktop going through this stuff, because I think they're going to do it kind of like I do. I only get on my Facebook on this desktop if I were to, if I'm checking out, if I'm going to my business manager, or if I get a message, from a client, say, and I'm communicating with them. Outside of that, I'm not going on Facebook desktop to check out anything. I don't really care. So it's really one. In my opinion, Facebook is.
Do you have your own? Do you have your own Facebook profile?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just asking. Not for professional purposes, like for personal reasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And I started using Facebook back when it was, you had to have a college email address to get on it. And, quite honestly, I think most people back in those days, I got on it just to check out the girls that were at school. So.
And that's all legitimate, right?
It is. I mean, that's how it started out. I mean, it's absolutely legitimate. So, and it's evolved. I mean, it really has. It's really cool how things have changed. But, I think that especially with this campaign, I mean, things can change. I mean, it's weird how it can change, because you got to think about this too. Okay, we could also be targeting. Now, we're not really targeting the type of person that's really working a corporate job necessarily. We're not. We're absolutely not, because we're looking for the person who is the entrepreneur, who is the business owner, and they're the ones, they have very little time to do shit.
They've already taken the step, that's right.
So they're not going to, I don't think they're going to be the type person that's going to be, I think they're going to be like me. They're not going to be the type person that's going to take time during their workday to go cruise Facebook. Just not. I'll cruise it when I'm doing, some activities that I have nothing else better to do except stare at my phone and flip through it, right? So I think that mobile on this campaign obviously reflects that. We need to go ahead and cut desktop, which I have. And I think that click right here on desktop has just come through. Yeah, today's June 5th, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we just paid a stupid fee on that one, and our dadgummit. So anyhow, it is what it is, but we can see that right now, this campaign, let me see how many ads we got running. See how much more optimization we got. I think this ad campaign gives us an idea. We're kind of, once again, we're taking the data, we're looking at what's working, what's our age groups, and then now we need to personify those and start targeting their pain points so that we can, really dive into them. So here you can see that we have 3 ad campaigns that are running. So we're going to let these 3 in each of the age brackets, we're going to let them continue to run because some of these haven't really gotten any love. And they may not because it might be like a CTA that I've cut out. I don't know. I shouldn't be on there then. So a lot of these still, some of these have some small values. You can see this one's performed pretty well. CPC of 0.437. That's solid on the 30 to 33 age group. I like that. At a 4% click-through rate. So hell yeah, that's a great ad right here. You can see that on this one, on this ad right here for the 34-37, it's got a 5.172% click-through rate at a 59-cent CPC. Okay.
Wow.
So you can see now. You can see what happens. You can see what's happening right now, right? We're going from what we don't know, what we didn't get any information on. So we don't have anything right here on this.
Can you go back to that one you just showed me?
That's right.
And can you click on the ad? Yeah, that one. Click on the ad. Let me see what we're doing here. Because they're all variations on the same thing, aren't they?
Yes. Now remember, I told you that our best ad techs, I abandoned my business and tripled my growth. Found out how I did this. This is intriguing people. So this is performing very well. I mean, we're doing exactly what we want. Once again, I think that by dialing in for each of these ad campaigns, for these age groups on this one, I think we're going to see the KPIs. I think we're going to see better KPIs than we originally wanted to go for. However, once again, we still need to be able to pinpoint more of their pain points, speak to them, and obviously conversions is number 1. Now, we've only run this ad campaign. This has only had, with this specific one, I want to say it's only had, 5 clicks? 3 clicks. Okay. So it's only had 3 clicks. Very, very small amount. So instead of saying we've had 24 clicks and no action, we've really only had 3 clicks and no action. Really, truthfully. That's the way I view it. Because everything that we've done at this point, it's gone. It was a step to get us to this creative right here with some pretty decent KPIs. Now, obviously, this is going to change a lot as we continue forward. But what we do know is that it's working. We know that there's a range, and now that we've dialed this in, it's going to be able to push these out and pinpoint, and then we get the values back and see how it's working. I would say that for this campaign, this kind of scares me because we don't have any clicks here. I think that's still within our age group, so I don't want to abandon it yet. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kill off these 2 right here.
So just slow down for me, just so I can get inside your head. It's 34 to 37. You're killing it because there's nothing happening there, no clicks.
Well, I'm not going to kill it just yet because I still think it's within our age group, and we still need, we still need to put it on there. So this doesn't have. It's only got 24 impressions. 3 impressions, 5 impressions. So this hasn't really had a chance. This hasn't even had a chance to run. And that could be because that one desktop click was $21, and that took our whole budget right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've got that out of the way, we can now focus on the 34 to 37. We're now focused on this one exclusively, this ad campaign. For 1 second. Okay. Now for the 30 to 33. I'm going to go ahead and lean towards, let's check out the creative. I abandoned my business. Okay, so now this is interesting. For this age group, the headline is the way the headline's set up. Whoa, I like that.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Let me fix that real quick. Okay, that's good to go. This is working better than the other one, so that's good. Let me put that out there. All that's effective. Yep. 1 second.
No problem.
So anyhow, okay. Now we've got your new ad campaigns. Let me pull those real quick. You emailed those to me, yes?
Well, I gave you some ad text. So just to recap, on Friday you said, look, we need people to get to know who you are. We've got to build some trust. We're going from nothing, and we're asking them to do things. So let's develop a bit of a story about you between 500 and 700 words, and let's tell a story and talk about pain points that you went through that they can relate to. Well, I did that in ad text 1. I've given you 10, right? Mm-hmm. I gave that to you. It's about 700 words. It's huge, but you asked for it to be long, right? You can pull it apart, say it's ridiculous, say it's missing the point. You can say whatever you want about it, but there it is. And while I sat down and I had some time to myself, so this is in the early hours of this morning, I said, look, why don't I give him a few others? Because you had written these ads, solo, go from solo to whatever you put. You were relying on a couple of paragraphs of an ebook that hadn't been written and a website that I was totally reviewing. So I wrote 9 other ads for you, taking different angles, some short, some long, but they're all longer than what you've got. So I just sort of gave you a bit extra and see if any of that's of use to you.
Okay. I had to change up my Gmail accounts, passwords, and have not updated my desktop yet, so let me put it up on my other computer. 1 second. All right, so we've got these, and what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and load these up. I was about to do that because I thought our meeting was at 1 Central, but
yeah,
1 Eastern. I was looking at it on Fridays, and I was like, okay, it says 1 here, so it must be.
Yeah, so I just sent an invite, a meeting invite, so it's 1 o'clock every day. Just for half an hour, we don't have to make it long. We'll just do our updates, and that's it.
Well, as we get going, the most important thing about our meetings right now is looking at what's going on and being able to take, hey, we'll see trends, and we're going to see a lot more, and say, hey, this is what's working. Let's take this and let's apply it over to this.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. And it just.
I'm intellectually stimulated by how you think about this and how your mind works. I genuinely mean that. So I do look forward to the meetings. I understand what we've got to do. I've also got a PA that's scheduling me for a whole range of things. So if we can just make it from 1 to 1:30, that's great.
Yep.
So have you got the text there? I want to get some feedback from you. If you like, I can put it up on the screen if you like. If you don't have it,
I've got it. I'm putting it up on my desktop or my laptop.
Yeah. Well, why don't you put it up on your screen so that we can talk to the same thing.
One second. Let me save it over.
No problem. There were 2 emails I sent. I want you to ignore the first one. It's the second one you want to look at.
Let me make sure I've got that correct. It's one that was sent 9 hours ago?
No.
At Facebook version 2. Is this correct?
Yeah, version 2. That's the one.
Okay. 1 second.
In that one, ad text number 9, I had to change. I wasn't happy with it. Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's going to be everything every day, right?
Something like that.
I'm going to drop it in our Skype chat just so I can pull it up on my desktop quickly.
Yeah, okay.
So ignore it on your end. Yeah, I'm just.
Okay. Just opening it up. So basically the ad text one is what I think you've asked for, or how I've interpreted what you've asked for. I'm not going to go through that in detail because it's 700 words, but basically I'm talking about how difficult my early years were and how I understand that if they're going through difficult times with their business, I really get it, and that I've actually transcended that. Now my life's really good, and I believe it's going to be good for you too. You just follow what I'm saying in the Freedom Mission, and that's your roadmap. You have to read that. It's a bit long to do here, right?
Yeah.
So let's move to add text 2.
Okay.
And admittedly it's 700 words, right? But you asked for something, you asked for long form. They really get a sense of who I am and what I went through just in those 700 words. Okay, add text 2 is much quicker. You know, starting a business is easy. Keeping it, then achieving at least 10 million in revenue, now that's hard. Discover the practical, repeatable steps how in the Freedom Mission, a free ebook by international entrepreneur Kenelm Tonkin. I just keep it short and sharp. Add text 3. Okay, so you have your own business. Great. But what happens if you take one day off? What about 1 week? What about 1 month? Would your business survive your absence? Or would it stop stone cold as soon as you stop working? Hi, I'm Kenelm Tonkin, international entrepreneur, and I describe how to solve this problem in my free ebook, The Freedom Mission. So, you know, I'm taking angles about how to grow. I'm taking angles about can you take time off from your business? Add text 4, much shorter. Want your business to generate $10 million in sales but don't know where to start? Get The Freedom Mission, my free ebook about business growth and lifestyle priorities. Add text 5. Now we're going more personal. Is the stress of owning your own business impacting your spouse and children? Do you spend the quality time you really want with them, or does the business grind get in the way? I feel your pain. I know what this is like. When I was in that tough, relentless, lonely place, I wish I had the help to get through it faster. So I wrote The Freedom Mission to share with you how I accelerated through this unpleasant phase of business. Plus, it's fast and fun to read. Get it here, it's free. I'm Kenelm Tonkin, let's talk. You know, so mid-level text. I don't know how much. You're telling me you can write as much as you want in these Facebook ads. I don't know. You're telling me that. So
2,500, you know, something like that.
So, you know, so there I'm going for, in add text 5, I'm talking about how it's affecting you personally with your family, right? And how I can get you through the hard part faster. Add text 6. I made 2 mistakes early in my entrepreneurial life, 100% embarrassing shockers. If I had recognised the blunders, I'd have saved 6 years of financial and personal hardship. Let me save you those 6 years of pain. What's going on here? Yeah. Let me save you those 6 years of pain. Click here for the Freedom Mission, my roadmap for business growth and the financial independence for your family, which results. Though free, the lessons I've documented are priceless. Are any of these working, or are they just too long and too...
No, I think this is great. I mean, this is exactly what we want. I mean, once again, it's don't think of it like this. I mean, you got to give me the information where I can take it and let me spin it out there, and let's let our audience tell us what they like and don't like.
Yeah,
and from
exactly.
And from that, we'll know definitively, hey, they like it, they don't. And I think everything will be fine, but obviously.
Yeah, that's great. No, it's the market that counts. We'll turn on a dime to follow what the market's saying. Absolutely, 100% agree with you.
But I love the way that we're talking like this, because that's what people are going to want. They're going to want to hit that little read more, like, okay, what's going on here? And then that's when they kind of get into it. And we want the people that get into it and they're like, they want a little bit more, want a little bit more, want a little bit more. And that's how we lead them down the rabbit hole through our sales chain.
Yeah. Do you want to go through the others, or we're fine?
Sure. I mean, you tell me what you want to do.
Well, there they are. They're all there. So you can have a look at them, and you can run them and just see what they say. I'm fine. So I just wanted to give you more copy, just to try and get a bit more dimension and make it a bit more personal, and try and link it to what they will be going through. I'm sort of buoyed by the fact it seems that people in their 30s are really who we're after, because it really just matches what I've experienced all these years. So on in ad text 9, I really lay it on. I mean, I really I really lay on how difficult it was. I really talk about some personal stuff me and my family had to go through and how I actually felt about it. If that doesn't, if somebody in their 30s who've started their business and are struggling, if they don't get ad text 9, though it's long, I know it's long, if they don't get that, then I've completely misread, the market. So, I think, I don't know what your intention is, just to pick up the text as it is and just shove it into an ad, and or is it your intention to copy and paste and cut down and just get to the nub of it, or how are you going to structure these new ads?
I think right now I'm going to structure them. I'm not going to cut anything. I'm going to let what you've put here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to just go straight with what you have here and copy and paste it in there and create a couple different. I'll probably have to create. Well, I don't know. I'll probably have to create 2 to 3 campaigns to get this many ad text in. I'll probably start off with some of these. I'm going to start off with a variation. I mean, obviously this one right here. This could work at the top, this could work at the middle, could work at the end. We don't know yet, but obviously we're going to find out with all of them. But I would use stuff like, this would be, ad text 2, 3, 4, and 5 would probably be run together, something like that. And then I'll pair in, the longer ones with the shorter ones, so on and so forth, and we'll have to spin those out and see how they come back.
Right.
But for now, we've got a campaign that I think that over the next 12 hours, well, obviously over the next couple of hours even, we're going to be able to see improved performance, because we're going to be able to have it go from we're going to see the click-through rate increase 30, 40, 50%. I think we're going to see the CPC decrease the same amount, if not higher. But at this time,
that's just to be clear. You think that's going to happen because you're culling the campaigns that are not working?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I've pared down from 240 ads. We've pared down to 9 so far? Well, actually less than that. We've got down to 6. So we've got 6 ads that are running out of 240 that we found that actually work. So what we do now is we focus on those instead of spending money on the other ones that, we spent, money, say $1 on, putting up X amount of impressions, but it returned nothing. Whereas now we've got impressions plus clicks, and we're getting great click-through rates, which should lead to excellent relevancy scores, which should decrease our cost here. Once we do that, then we start bumping it up.
Tell me about this relevancy score. You've mentioned you need 7. I don't know what a relevancy score is, when it comes in. Tell me about that.
It's how the audience responds to the ads, and it's how well our audience is dialed in. So it's it's a combination of how well our message is put together with how our audience responds to that message. So if it's tailored appropriately, our relevancy score will be high. If it's not, then it's going to be low. What that means, and what it translates to us in terms of dollar signs, is if we have a high relevancy score of at least 7 plus, 7 to 10, because it's out of 10 points. If we have a 7 up, we're spending the lowest amount per click that we will. If it's below that, we're going to have to pay more to put it out there, because Facebook is saying, yeah, it's just not that good. We can make more money off getting, this other guy's ad, campaign that's going to get 3 times the amount of clicks. We get 3 times the amount of money, whereas yours, So it's all about, it's kind of like AdWords positioning, on their quality score, how they relate an ad campaign to the way the audience feels about it. And the way the audience can respond to it is by clicking through it, is 1. 2 is, if people go in there and start getting a lot of negative feedback on it, that's going to kill our relevancy score. And then, whereas if people are going to like it a lot or like our page from it, etc., that's going to show a positive reaction. So we've gotten a lot of positive reactions so far. I don't see too much negative yet, but we have a very small amount of clicks. At this point in time, with it cut down to the numbers that we have now, what I want to do is almost, let these run over the next 24 hours or so to our meeting tomorrow. At that time, we'll then look at it and say, hey, here's about where our click-through rate is. Here's about what our cost per click is. Now we need to be focused on what's our, CPA, cost per lead. And, on that campaign, it's got to produce. If it's not, then we need to revamp. And that's where, one, we're revamping by taking this new ad text here and applying it. We're going to use the best headline out of the previous campaign, right? Which we only have really two. And depending on the age group, it shows that they're working differently. So that's kind of, don't worry about that. I'll handle it. What I'll do is I'll just take it, put it to one, and then let's vary the out the ad text. We have a lot. The next step that we need to do, we need to take those images that I sent you out of that light box, and we need to start bumping out tons of images because we only have you right now, just two different variations of you. So it's either, once again, I think that's going to cause us to have low performance because we need to find images that'll work. We could take more images of you. Whatever. Get your wife to bust out the iPhone or whatever and just start snapping pictures, or if your kids have have phones already, you can probably get them to take pictures really well of you because these days know how to do selfies better than anybody. So so they're like little mini professional photographers. So
why don't we look? So we didn't ever talk about. I gave you those freedom, these ones, freedom photographs. Are you using those at all in any of them yet, or you haven't started on changing the images?
I've got those. I've already cropped them, and we got about 10?
Yeah.
10, 12? Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll actually, let me vary it on this campaign right here that I'll take with this different ad text. I'm going to take that and use the different images here. I'm going to be doing a lot of, we're looking at, 4 to 6 campaigns that we're going to have to bump out this week, over the next 48 hours alone. Now, this is kind of where we're going to get into sort of spending some money doing this, but I'm going to try to keep it as low as I can so we can get through this initial growth stage, as cheaply as we can. So what I'll probably end up doing is taking the first campaign that we have running right now and just, I've got it at 15 a day. I'll probably drop it down to something like 8, just because we know we've gotten information out of it, but we haven't gotten any leads yet. So I don't want to go crazy on it. And then let's take this new stuff with the new images, all these different things. Let's compile that. Let's put these out there, say 10, 15 each, whatever we can get away with. And then let's find out what's working from there. I would say right now I'm going to go ahead and I'll use the age groups that we're running right now. Go ahead and cut the late 40s out. Even though I still think late 40s is a great place for us to play, for some reason we haven't resonated yet with these campaigns. It doesn't mean that we're not going to. And it doesn't mean that these couldn't resonate with me, which very well could. Once again, it's what the data returns. So let me go ahead. I see at least 2 campaigns having to go out today, and I'll try to set them at the lowest amount that I can and get away with it. And then from there, we'll just take it and keep reading the data off.
All right, no problem. Do you need any stock photos, any additional stock photos, or you don't need that today?
Not today. Let me take what we have. Let me take what I've already cropped, and let me go ahead and load those, and let's see how we get on that.
All right. Can you just shoot when you finished loading them up, or the new copy, or their new campaigns? Can you just shoot me a note to say when you're done?
Would you like? I usually like to take screenshots and send it to you. Is that cool with you? If I continue to do it that way?
Yeah, if you want to do that, that's great. Just drop them in. I think you did that last time. Just let me know that when they're done. So that's great. Yep, easy.
What I'll do is I'll put a zip file together and I'll shoot it over to you via Skype. That way you can unload it, look at it. Do you need to go through the approval process, or since I'm just taking?
No. I trust you completely.
Because all I'm doing is taking copy and pasting here. So
yeah, I'll just see what you've done after you've done it. That's fine.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, that way I can go ahead and get it bumped out, and these will be out probably in the next half hour to hour.
Easy. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. We'll talk next on 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you.